So let's be real. You're doing everything you're supposed to. You're eating clean, you're hitting the gym, but that stubborn fat around your middle just refuses to pack its bags and leave. You've been told it's just calories in, calories out, but you're doing that. Hmm, the number on the scale might be going down, but the belly isn't shrinking. It's frustrating, it's demoralizing, and it can make you feel like you're the one failing. What if I told you it's not your fault? What if the real reason that fat won't budge has nothing to do with your willpower, but everything to do with a quiet, biological battle being waged by your own hormones? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the science of why your body locks away belly fat and show you exactly how to flip the fat-burning switch back on. There are thousands of people fall into the exact same trap. They think that if they just try a little harder, eat a little less, and do 1,000 more crunches, the belly fat will eventually surrender. But it almost never does. That's because belly fat, especially the fat deep inside your abdomen, plays by a completely different set of rules. Your body isn't ignoring your diet, it's just getting the wrong commands from its most powerful messengers, your hormones. Think of your body as a busy company. Your diet and exercise are like memos you send to the head office. But if the managers in charge are sending out conflicting orders, total chaos ensues. In this case, your managers are two incredibly powerful hormones, insulin and cortisol. When these two are out of whack, they create a perfect storm for fat storage, especially in one specific place, your midsection. And we're not talking about the soft, pinchable fat just under the skin, which is called subcutaneous fat. We're talking about visceral fat, the dangerous, metabolically active fat that wraps itself around your internal organs like your liver and intestines. This type of fat isn't just sitting there doing nothing, it's an active organ in its own right, pumping out inflammatory gunk and fatty acids that throw your entire system out of balance. This is exactly why you can lose weight from your face, your arms, your legs, but your stomach seems to be the last to get the memo. It's not in your head. The fat cells in your belly are biologically different. They're wired to resist being burned for fuel because they're listening to a different set of hormonal signals. The battle for your midsection isn't won with more sit-ups, it's won by understanding and fixing these signals. The first hormonal player we need to get to know is insulin. You probably associate it with blood sugar, but in the world of fat loss, it has another nickname, the fat storage hormone. Every time you eat, especially carbs, your pancreas releases insulin. Its job is to act like a traffic cop, directing the sugar from your food into your cells to be used for energy. But here's the problem. Our modern lives, full of constant snacking, processed foods, and sugary drinks, mean that for many of us, insulin is being released almost around the clock. When insulin is always high, your cells start to tune out its signal. It's like a car alarm that's always going off in your neighborhood. Eventually, you just ignore it. This condition is called insulin resistance. When your cells become resistant, your body thinks it isn't sending enough insulin, so it shouts louder by pumping out even more of it. And this is where the disaster for belly fat begins. High levels of insulin are exceptionally good at one thing, locking fat inside your fat cells. The process of breaking down and burning stored fat is called lipolysis. High insulin slams the brakes on this process. It essentially puts a padlock on your fat stores, making it incredibly difficult for your body to burn them for fuel. Your body gets stuck in fat storage mode. This isn't just about calories, it's a hormonal switch stuck in the wrong position. Even if you're in a calorie deficit, high insulin makes your body reluctant to tap into those fat reserves. Instead, your body might start breaking down valuable muscle for energy and send out powerful hunger signals, tricking you into eating more. This is why you feel tired, hungry, and defeated, even when you're being so disciplined. The high insulin is directing any available energy to be stored as fat, and its favorite place to store it is deep in your belly as visceral fat. This creates a vicious cycle. More visceral fat leads to more inflammation, which makes insulin resistance worse, which then leads to even more belly fat. The second hormonal villain in our story is cortisol, the world-famous stress hormone. Now, cortisol isn't automatically the bad guy. It's a vital survival hormone designed to save you from immediate danger in a fight or flight situation. It floods your system with blood sugar for quick energy and sharpens your focus. The problem is, your body hasn't really evolved to tell the difference between the stress of being chased by a predator and the stress of a looming deadline, a nasty email, or a terrible night's sleep. In our modern world, many of us are living in a state of chronic, low-grade stress. This means our cortisol levels are elevated pretty much all the time. And cortisol has a very specific command for your body. Store fat around the abdomen. Why there? Because the visceral fat cells in your belly have way more cortisol receptors than fat cells anywhere else in your body. They are uniquely sensitive to stress signals. When cortisol is chronically high, it's like a direct order is being sent to these cells to hoard fat and protect it at all costs. But it gets worse. High cortisol doesn't just command fat storage, it actively sabotages your efforts in other ways. First, it cranks up your appetite, specifically your cravings for high sugar, high fat comfort foods. That's your body looking for a quick energy fix to deal with what it thinks is a constant threat. Second, chronic high cortisol can lead to the breakdown of muscle tissue, which is your metabolic engine for burning calories. Less muscle means a slower metabolism. And finally, stress and high cortisol are notorious for wrecking your sleep. Bad sleep then messes with the hormones that control your hunger, leptin and ghrelin, making you feel hungrier and less full after meals, which drives you to eat more. So, even with a perfect diet and a solid workout routine, if you're chronically stressed and not sleeping, your cortisol levels are effectively screaming at your body to hold on to that belly fat for dear life. If this is starting to click and you're having a bit of an aha moment, do me a favor and give this video a gentle thumbs up. It lets me know this information is actually helpful and that you want more content on how to work with your body, not against it. Now for the good news, you are not a victim of your hormones, you are the conductor of this entire hormonal orchestra. Once you understand the signals that control insulin and cortisol, you can start sending the right ones. The solution isn't some magic pill, it's about making strategic shifts in your lifestyle. First, let's tackle that insulin lock. The goal is simple: lower and stabilize your insulin levels. Rethink meal timing. You don't need to be eating all day. Giving your body a real break from digestion allows insulin levels to fall, which is what unlocks your fat cells. Try a simple form of intermittent fasting, like keeping your eating to a 10 or 12-hour window. For instance, finish dinner by 7 p.m. and don't eat again until 7 a.m. That gives your body a solid 12-hour break to actually burn fat. Build your plate smarter. When you do eat, build your meals to prevent a massive insulin spike. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats are your best friends here. They slow down digestion and the release of sugar into your bloodstream. Think leafy greens, avocados, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, and quality protein sources. Take a post-meal stroll. You don't have to run a marathon. A simple 10 to 15-minute walk after your main meals can dramatically lower the blood sugar spike from your food, meaning your body needs to produce way less insulin. Next, we need to calm down the cortisol command. The goal is to send signals to your body that it's safe, not in constant low-level danger. Own your morning and evening. How you start and end your day can set the tone for your cortisol levels. Instead of grabbing your phone the second you wake up, take 5 minutes for some deep breathing or to just sit in silence. At night, create a digital sunset by shutting off all screens at least an hour before bed. This will dramatically improve your sleep quality. Make sleep your priority. This is completely non-negotiable for managing cortisol. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. This is when your body repairs itself and resets your entire hormonal system. Bad sleep is a direct trigger for high cortisol. Exercise smart. While exercise is a fantastic stress reliever, over-exercising or doing endless cardio can actually raise cortisol even more. The sweet spot for most people is a mix of resistance training and moderate cardio. Lifting weights builds muscle, and more muscle improves your insulin sensitivity, helping you solve both hormonal problems at once. The reason you haven't been able to lose that stubborn belly fat isn't because you lack discipline or willpower. It's because you've been fighting the wrong battle. You've been laser focused on calories when you should have been focused on communication. Your belly fat isn't being stubborn, it's just following very clear instructions from your hormones to stick around. By taking back control of these signals, By lowering insulin and managing cortisol, you can finally flip the master switch in your body from fat storing to fat burning. You can start working with your biology instead of feeling like you're constantly fighting against it.